Hello, Mr. Silva. I know you're on the last leg of your vacation, and I hope you had an absolutely wonderful time. I've seen some great pictures on Facebook, so it looks like you were enjoying yourself. Have a safe return home, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. I just wanted to send you this clip in regards to the meeting that Mr. Alberto and I had today, Thursday, April the 4th. I received your email on Tuesday, and I thought it was a great idea to offer him a commission position. I tallied up his hours on Tuesday and Thursday, and it totals 5 hours, and that's 20 hours a month. That averaged out to be about $300 worth of income. With this opportunity, he would be able to almost triple his income, and if he did it smart, it would be a very realistic goal. I think signing up one student a week is definitely something that's not out of the question. It's definitely attainable. So I sent Mr. Alberto an email to schedule a meeting with him today in regards to offering him this different opportunity. And I even asked him if he would reply and let me know if this time was convenient. He did not reply to my email, and he just showed up, which I was prepared for and pretty much expecting. I started the conversation this way. One, on Saturday, him and I did not have a very professional conversation, although everything I discussed with him was pertained to the business. It was strictly numbers. Nothing I said was damaging to his personal demeanor, or I didn't say anything to attack his character. Everything we discussed was about the business. So it was a business conversation. Now, he failed to have the tact and the professionalism of a businessman and have a decent business conversation with me. Instead, he got very aggressive, very defensive, argumentative. He started pointing the fingers, and we didn't get anything solved through that conversation. I simply just wanted to explain to him where we're at, where his results are at, and where the gap is, and what we need to do to fill it. There were no solutions offered, so it was really an ugly conversation. Not to mention that he lost his cool and got loud with me, and I thought that was very disrespectful, and I have very little patience for that. So already, he's skating on thin ice with me. So anyways, I'm very positive. I'm trying to do this. I'm giving it my very best effort, and I first start by explaining that him and I need to be professional with each other, that this has to be a positive work environment, and it's got to be conducive to us, conducive to our team to accomplish these goals. The bottom line is that he's simply not accountable for anything he does. I offered him the opportunity to make $200 on every student that signs up directly from him. And he looked at me right in the eyes and he said, "Well, that's good for you." Essentially saying, he didn't think that was a fair opportunity for him, which I was not surprised due to his attitude and what he thinks his responsibility is here. He began to tell me that I was not a good leader and that I have not provided him the proper opportunity to be successful, which I find a load of bull. These are some of the questions that I asked him. I asked him, when was the last time that he VIP'd the walk-by traffic in our plaza? No answer. I asked him, when was the last time he spoke to the managers and the staff members that work in our plaza and offer them a free class to one of our martial arts programs? No answer there. I asked him, when was the last time he set up a promotional booth outside of our business? No answer. I asked him, when was the last time he scheduled a promotional booth, period? No answer. In December, he told me that he placed 7 rack cards at 7 different businesses. I asked him to give me a list of where those rack cards were placed and what businesses they were at and who was the contact at those businesses. He failed to give me that information. And then I even asked him, did you follow up with those businesses? And have you placed more? He has not. So to me, I'm led to believe, if I'm inspecting what I expect, that he lied to me. If he can't tell me where those rack cards are at, if he hasn't followed up with them, and if he hasn't placed any more since then, it leads me to believe that that action simply did not take place. Next, I asked him, if I am preventing him from being successful, what other things have I prevented him from doing? He simply cannot come up with any answers. I asked him, has he taken the initiative to call our students that are having upcoming birthdays and offer them a birthday party, or even offer them a discount and try to schedule birthday parties so that we are ensuring new prospects that are walking through our doors and a better possibility of signing up new students? He had no answer. Look, I can't even have a professional conversation with this guy without him sighing and moaning and looking off. I mean, he doesn't even have the confidence to look at me right in the eyes and have a man-to-man conversation with me. He truly wasn't receptive to the new opportunity that I gave him. And then he went on to even, almost being sad and getting mad at me that I cut his hours. And he was saying something to the effect of, my daughters are turning 1 year old today, and I don't even have the money to get them something. I said, that's not my fault. Don't blame me for that. I say, be a man. Man up. Make something happen. Be accountable for your actions. He's got nothing but negativity to bring to the table. He's not offering any solutions. He's not offering any ideas that are worthwhile. The only idea he has brought to the table is to do direct mail. He even wanted to argue the fact that another karate school is doing direct mail, and they've already got 30 or 40 people signed up for their summer camp. And I said, that's great. That's awesome. So I asked him how many team members were involved in that business. And he went on to tell me there was like 4 or 5 full-time employees, and there was another 3 or 4 part-time employees. I said, yes. I said, Alberto, the only reason that I have not scheduled summer camps yet is because I'm going to be the one that's going to be working from 8:30 in the morning until 9 o'clock at night. That's a workload that I have to put on myself, and I have to choose to accept that. Now, if that's something I have to do to meet our financial goal, I will do that. I said, but it makes more sense to me to work smarter and to enroll more students and to be covered financially from our karate program and fall back on summer camp as an extra benefit or more profit at the end of the month versus something that we absolutely have to do. I would much rather have a packed karate program and not have to do summer camps. I would much rather sell the dots on my floor than have a glorified babysitting service. I'm sure you and I are on the same page with that. So when I explained to him that if we have camps, I'm the one that's got to work it. So it's not fair for him to say that type of combatant or to have that kind of suggestion when we have a lean and mean staff, and for the most part, I'm the one that has to do all the work. So if I want to take on that responsibility, I'll do that. But that's a choice that I have to make. That's not up to him to make. Second, this is where I really have challenges with him, that he's been insubordinate in the fact that I had a meeting with him, just like you told me to have, to set the expectations. I gave him a piece of paper that said all of the things that he has to follow. I let him know how many sick days he's allowed to have. I let him know how many personal days he's allowed to have per year. I let him know the procedure in scheduling a personal day. You can't just wake up the morning of and say, hey, I'm taking a personal day. You're supposed to give me at least a week notice. I mean, that's fair. That's like any other business. Well, last week, not only did he not call me, he just sent me an email saying that he's taking a personal day that day. He didn't even ask me. He just took it upon himself to take that personal day. His attitude, his demeanor, and his respect toward me is non-existent. I mean, I can't work with somebody who does not respect me. I can't work with somebody who thinks that I'm supposed to work for him. He even told me that we don't have that many leads. I asked him, I said, well, if we don't have any more leads, whose responsibility is it to get more leads? He looked at me right in the eyes and he didn't even answer me. He was just staring at me like I was a piece of crap, like I was nothing. He was just sitting there staring at me. Like, I'm not going to answer you. It was just ridiculous. I mean, I don't even know what to say. There was absolutely no response. There's no accountability. There's nothing. If I have to schedule the promotional booth, if I have to get all the materials ready and prepared and run the promotional booth, if I do the work at getting the leads, well, I can hire a telemarketer at minimum wage to sit back in the office and make calls for 5 hours straight, have more hours, get more production, and pay less. Why am I paying him? Why are we paying him $15 an hour if everybody else has to do the work for him? This is just so mind-boggling as to where his mindset is and what he thinks he has to do. I mean, apparently he thinks he's just a glorified telemarketer. I mean, I'm not going to do all that work and pay him just to figure out when somebody can come in. If I've made that connection, if I've done the research and scheduling the booth and getting it done and speaking with the proper channels, the other businesses, if I do the network, if I do all that work, then I don't need him. I did a promotional booth on Sunday, on Easter. I got leads. I've scheduled appointments. People are coming in. I'm going to sign them up. To absolutely no effort from Mr. Alberto. Absolutely no effort. If I'm going to do it, I don't need him here. I simply don't. And then for him not even to be, I guess, even be open-minded enough to look at the opportunity for the commission position, for him not to even intelligently think about the pros and cons, and for him just to have an attitude and look at me and say, oh, well, that's good for you, that's good for the school, and basically and then he even said, he says, oh, you want me to do all the work? I said, yes, that's your job. This is a job. You got to have results. You got to take action. You got to get things done. Absolutely ridiculous. Here's one more example of why I can't tolerate him. One is because he had asked me to do spring camp. I spent 2 weeks on putting together a schedule from 8:30 in the morning until 5:30 in the evening, until the last kid left. From A to Z, I put everything together, all the marketing materials, how many kids could be in the camp so that it was manageable for him, all of the activities. I already had everything planned out, from the ordering of the pizza and doing the pizza party at DeVito's, the jump house, all of the supplies he needed. I had everything done for him, everything, because he asked me to. And then the day that I was set to start promoting the spring camp, he called me and told me, oh, I can't do the spring camp because I don't have spring break at the same time. And so when I asked him that, I said, look, if you're gonna need something from me and you want me to give you extra help, I have no problem in doing that. I said, but make sure that your time is available if you're asking me to do something for you. I could have spent my time doing something else more productive than putting together a babysitting plan for him for a week straight. I mean, I was really upset the fact that I put all that work into it for him because he asked me to, and then he didn't even have the professionalism to check his schedule to see when he was available. So I told him, I said, I was really upset that I did all that work and put that together for you, and you didn't even let me know that you didn't even have that time available. And then this was his answer. He says, very arrogant, very cocky, and he said, oh, I don't work at the school board. I'm not an administrator there. I don't know when times are off and what times we have on and when spring break is. I said, you're a grown man. You got to know your schedule. I'm sure you know when your vacations are, when you have to go to school and when you don't have to go to school. I said, it is absolutely no excuse, no excuse. And on top of that, he went on to say, oh, well, if I don't have 15 people signed up, I'm not going to get my numbers. And he was just making all kind of excuses. So already I was already upset at that. That was one thing that I had bothering me. You know, he's going to go ahead and tell me I'm not a good leader, but yet when I get all the things ready for him, he's the one who reneges on our plan. It's absolutely ridiculous. I have no patience for his mindset. He's not a team player. He just wants to sit back and collect a check for nothing. You know, he had the audacity and the nerve to say that I'm taking food off of his table. I said, man, you're taking food off of my table. I said, you're out there talking to the parents for 30 minutes and then you leave early? I said, what kind of employee does that? He was a manager of a call center. I said, would you allow your employees to get up and leave without telling you? Would you allow your employees to take a personal day without going through the proper chain of command and letting you know? Would you accept your employees raising your voice at you? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This kid, and I call him a kid because he has a mindset of a kid, is not a team player. Although we've had good times in the past, he's not intelligent enough to have the business mindset, and his main goal isn't for this school to be more productive. He just wants to do the bare minimum and get by with the bare minimum, and I can't handle that. And for the lack of respect and the way we communicate, I just have no patience for him. So I gave him an opportunity to take advantage of the commission position, and he didn't want to do that. And because he wasn't able to answer none of my questions, he wasn't able to answer any of my questions, maybe because he can't, or maybe because he chose not to, but because we can't even have a simple business conversation, I cannot work with him. So I told him that this is not going to work. So basically I let him know that I don't need him. You know, there's no need for him here. We're going to get better results without having him here. It's just what it is. He's dead weight. He's not accountable for his actions. He doesn't want to bring realistic, productive ideas to the table. He wants to point the finger. He wants to play the blame game. He wants to get emotional. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I work too hard. I work way too hard to have someone like that come and go as they please and have attitude and think they can do whatever they want. So it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry. I hope you're not upset at this. I hope you know that this is my home and that I have nothing but the finish line in mind for this place. We're too close to the goal to drop the ball now. You know, if we had one of our best months in January, then we should be going above and beyond that. If that was our best month, that should have been our worst month. And if my team can't see that, if we're not able to be on the same page, then it doesn't make sense that we work together. If it's not making money, it doesn't make sense. This school has got to get to to where we need to be, and that's what it is. So if you get this before the end of your vacation, don't worry about it. Just call me next week. We can have our meeting on Thursday. If you get in before then and you're home and you're settled in, give me a call. I'd be glad to talk to you. But the bottom line is that we don't have a professional relationship, and it's through his actions, it's through his choice, and it's through his lack of actions that we are where we are today. So I just wanted to inform you of what happened tonight. One last thing is I know he's worked here for like 7 months or something like that. I'm almost positive he's going to try to apply for unemployment. I believe that he's been insubordinate in the fact that he has not followed the proper procedures in letting me know when he's taking the days off. As far as I'm concerned, he was a no-call, no-show last Thursday, and those are automatic means for dismissal. And that is exactly what I gave him when we had our meeting back in December. For him to leave early without even letting me know, to clock out before 7:30 is, to me, means for automatic dismissal. If you don't have permission to leave work early, you don't leave work early. For him to be talking outside with the parents instead of finding ways to get new leads, instead of taking the initiative to VIP people in the plaza, to just have a social conversation while he's on the clock, is insubordinate and automatic means for dismissal. It's absolutely ridiculous that he's conducted himself the way he has. And then he wants to get loud at me. I can't handle people like that. I really can't. And he probably can't get his kids a birthday gift because of his actions. I'm just really mad. I'm really mad because I've tried my hardest with him, and I let him go. I let him go because he lacks respect. He simply lacks respect, and his eye is not on the goal. So that's what it is. It is what it is. So again, I will talk to you next week. Thanks a lot, sir.